I'm Shonda Rhimes. Welcome to my house. This is my study. The house was built in the 1920s by an architect named Elmer Gray. When I bought the house, it was kind of a hot mess. It didn't look anything like it does right now, except for this room. This is one of the rooms that we kept a little bit almost the way it was. And it is my favorite room in the house. I spend, I want to say, all of my time here. When we finished the house and I moved in, everybody at work got really mad because I didn't go to work, and I spent, I want to say, maybe 2 months just sitting in this room every day, all day, doing work. Once I got in here, I didn't want to leave. I got big cozy chairs in here because it feels really important to have a chair that you want to sit in and spend a bunch of time in. So this is my chair by the fireplace. Winter, summer, don't care. Have that fireplace going and roaring and sort of making a cozy fire and writing. I also have a bunch of my books in here. This is by far not even close to being all of my books. I'm a big reader, so every book I have read and try to loan to other people and get them to read. A lot of my political books are in here. A lot of biographies are in here. A bunch of children's books are in here for the kids. I have a lot of signed books that I think are really special. I'm more of an author fan than anything else. So it's a room I feel like people should want to come to and read. This is my favorite painting. It's by Huey Lee Smith. Huey Lee Smith is an African-American artist from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and he's just a really interesting artist, and I have a ton of his paintings. There's a sister or a brother painting to this in a museum, I think in Milwaukee, where right now he's going into the sort of cave or alley or whatever. In the painting that's in the museum, he is walking out of the cave. So I think it's kind of cool that there's another painting that's very similar. That is also a Huey Lee Smith painting, which I think is also really interesting because it's these women who you can't really see their faces. Her back is to the camera, her face is to the camera, but her face is sort of partially obscured. They're just these very interesting paintings, and they all have this very interesting sense of melancholy to them. I just think they're gorgeous. The books here are part of this collection called The 100 Greatest Books Ever Written. And you'll notice in my library that I have a lot of the same books twice because I like to collect groupings of books because they're beautiful, but I can't have a collection of books and not have the complete collection. But then I also probably have This Is to Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I probably have 10 copies of that because it's always in everybody's collection of books. You can't really have too many books, so I don't really think that's a problem. This is a really cool stepladder, which kind of is really just about the fact that it's a stepladder. It feels like a library is supposed to have a stepladder to go and climb up, and I have this imaginary world in my head in which everything's some sort of Harry Potter-esque library. But my kids sit on it all the time, and that's even better. Above the bookcases, you will see these things that look a little bit tribal. I got them at an art show, and they are skateboards decorated by an artist to look slightly like folk art tribal masks. They just struck me as being beautiful and a really cool way of repurposing something that was old and they were sort of falling apart when he got them. And it sort of works perfectly. There's just enough shelves and they fit exactly right. And they're beautiful. And then above the door, we have this winged mask that I always loved that felt like it was about good luck and prosperity, and it felt fascinating. It's one of the first things people see when they come into this room, and everybody asks me, where the heck did that come from? When did you get it? And I always say I've had it for 20 years. One of the things that I have in this room that I do not have anyplace else in the house are some awards that I have been fortunate enough to win. A friend of mine said that you have to put them out somewhere. I had them all kind of shoved in a closet, and she said that's ridiculous. You have to acknowledge your accomplishments in some way. So I took some of them and I put them out in here. They're really beautiful memories, which is why they're here. But it's really, a reminder to celebrate the best moments and the accomplishments of your work life. And it's also good for my kids because I keep telling my 4-year-old who says oh, what's that for? I say when you have a trophy, it's gonna go up in here as well. Thank you so much for coming to see my favorite room. I hope you have a favorite room because it's awesome to have a favorite room. But now you have to go so I can be alone in my favorite room. Goodbye. Thank you, Architectural Digest. Thank you, everybody. Take care. See you soon.